And speaking of funny looking thing, before I turn your program back over to you, have you seen or have you heard about or even seen advertised, but not know what's going on with a television program? It's a documentary series called The Curious Case of Natalia Grace.
Is that an NXT name? No, I've not heard of this show. I have not seen this show. I thought you were going to ask me about that series with the Von Erichs that everyone was asking us about.
No, I'm not going to talk about anything that anybody's talking about. I'm asking you about something nobody wants to hear about.
I've never heard of it, no.
Have you ever? This is the goddamnest thing that I have ever seen. We talk enough about wrestling. This is not related to wrestling, and it ought to be. If you're a wrestling fan, you might find some enjoyment in this somehow because it's a wing dong dandy, as Ed Whalen used to say, or whatever. It is. I don't know what network originally did it or broadcasted or whatever, but I think it's been on like Discovery or the Alert. I can't remember because I accidentally looked at it several weeks ago. You know, I watch nothing for fun because after we watch all the wrestling and talk about that, I generally nod off and go into a coma for 7 or 8 hours. But I was laying in bed and I said, what in the world can this be? And I got into it. And it actually kept me awake for a little while. And so every Thursday night, they've been showing like multiple episodes. And they did 6 shows of season 1. Then I think they did 8 of season 2. And now they're on season 3. And they never run out of fucking story. This is all true. They have documentation. They have court records. They have videotape. They've been interviewing these people going back like 5 years, and they have all kinds of this shit. Now, are you wanting to hear the story, Brian, of this?
What was the name of it again?
The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. These people up the road, I think at one point they were living in Seymour. Rip Rogers may have run into this fucking woman. But in Indianapolis, this couple adopted this, I'll call her a little person because she's not a wrestler. I'd call her a midget, but they adopted this like Ukrainian little person. And this was back in like 2009. And she was like 6 or 7 years old, right? And over the next 3 years, apparently these people come to find out or believe that this is not a 7-year-old Ukrainian little person, but this is like a fully adult 20-year-old little person.
Whoa.
Who they have adopted and now wants to murder them for whatever purpose.
That's like a twist. Okay.
So, well, no, this is only season 1, baby. This is only season 1, baby. So they take this. She's not fucking 2.5 feet tall. I mean, she would be minute in terms of little people sizes that we're used to seeing. And she's got other physical issues. They take her and they get some doctor to sign off on whatever he's got to do. And they take her to court and have her re-aged legally, where they have a judge say that she's 22 years old instead of 9. And then they move her out into a goddamn apartment in, I think, Lafayette, Indiana, which, especially on the wrong side, is not the place for, grown folks, right? And she's living in this apartment where she's got to go up this giant flight of stairs that would blow me up. And they show her crawling up these things. And this is where these people move. And they're still paying for her food and shit, but they've moved her out of the house. Well, then as things progress, we find out that these documentary people find her goddamn real mother in the Ukraine who was alleged to be dead. And she said, no, I got her birth record. She was born. She really was fucking 9. But now she's legally 22.
Wait, stop it.
Hold on.
Wait, it's a 9-year-old crawling up the stairs to her own apartment? She really was 9?
Yes. Where they left her for a month at a time before they check in on her.
Oh my God. How could that? No way. Come on.
Because she wasn't really homicidal and murderous. Come to find out, this couple are batshit fucking nuts. And oh no, and the woman would not even be there are court cases involved, all these things going on. And
now I'm interested.
He was taken into court, and she doesn't have anything to do with this. The woman, the wife, the mother, but the guy, the father, alleges now that he was a victim of the wife too, and he gives some goddamn performances. I'm telling you what, imagine a guy who thinks he's Orson Welles on meth. He is telling these fucking tales.
He's on meth, or it's Orson Welles on meth?
Orson Welles on meth. Okay. A guy who thinks that he's Orson Welles and he's on meth. And he's over the top lunatic. And then they bring in another goddamn midget / little person from Indiana who was involved in he's some kind of sex fiend and claims that the woman tried to offer the little girl to him in exchange for some shit. I think maybe she was wanting to have the husband disappear. And then they find the little people that wanted to adopt this little person, but somehow their adoption was mysteriously foiled. And they believe it was by these nuts that ended up adopting her and then going through and it's still going on. I can't wait for the next episode. There is more fucking heel turns and goddamn swerves, bro. But this is all real shit.
Well, thanks for giving it all away. Where is the?
No, we don't even know it. You gotta see.
Where
this
is
whole
the little
thing.
girl now? Well, I assume little girl. Where is she now?
Oh, well, she was adopted. Again, she lived with a guy and his wife. He was a bishop. He called himself bishop, but he was a preacher. But one of those independent kind of preachers. And his wife had several children that they had adopted and or were caring for, and getting a check for the government for it. And she was as happy as a little person could be until this season. Oh, then the producers get they have to add a season. It's a lights out goddamn season. They were done with this show and they had to add a season because the last time that they ended, well, all was happy and she was adopted by these fucking people. And come to find out now that goddamn the guy had called and said, we don't know what to do with Natalia. We got to get rid of Natalia.
What happened?
Well, that's what their story was. But Natalia's story is I met a guy online and he smartened me up that these people, and then they have people trooping in to say, yeah, they're collecting these kids and this publicity and this money, and they're taking all the money for it. And they're just using Natalia. But meanwhile, then the guy calls back and said, no, everything's smoothed over. And then Natalia won't fucking knock her adopted father. Stay tuned. More shit's happening.
How old is she now?
God damn, she's got to be 40 by now. No, she would be, hold on. If she was allegedly, she was 2002, she would be 23 years old now, according to her birth mother in the Ukraine. Or yeah, that's the way they used to say it, in Ukraine or wherever she's from.
Ukraine.
But she would be, they added 13 years. So she's either 23 or 36. And she don't much look like 36.
I can't get past the idea that they said she was actually 22. They put her in an apartment and she was 9 years old. It's like,
yes,
it's like a twisted movie or something. It doesn't seem like real life.
But they got people testifying on both sides of this thing that, oh yeah, the other side, they're completely full of shit. And you believe all of them. They're all fucking nuts. Every single one of them. Crazy as a rainbow trout in a car wash. You got to see this show. I'm just telling you. Right. It's on Thursday nights on one of the allegedly educational network.
It's on Max. You can see all 3 seasons on Max.
Oh, fuck. Well, watch it on real goddamn television.
Wait, watch it on Max. You can just stream the whole series. You can get caught up. Marathon.
Well, I can't stay up that long.
All right. This is your show.